And here we go, to the right side of dual side. We have in the red color the third player for the Prime team. It is
Marine King Prime!
Was known as Boxer, and when his idol entered StarCraft 2, was known as Foxer for a brief period of time, fake Boxer, and now we have him with this ID Marine King. And he is up against the NSOCIO player who already defeated 2 of his teammates. He is up against our Protoss to the left side of the map of dual side in the blue colors, up against...
And it's Hoso, Sun!
Well, I think San is probably going to be feeling pretty good after taking 2 wins, especially taking out Pung Pung. That's going to be feeling really good, and he knows he's playing against a Terran on dual side. He probably expected this. Okay, if I lose, I'll probably have to play against a Terran. And in the case of Marine King, he's like, oh wow, it's a really tough opponent, and it's dual site. So I feel like the pressure has been removed from San. He's already won 2 games for his team. He's going to be getting rid of dual site for any other Protoss players that may have to play later. So he's like, alright, so no matter what, dual site is gone now. And if I lose here, no one's really expecting me to beat Marine King on dual site. No one's expecting me to do that. So the pressure is removed, so I feel like San may play a very refined game here where he doesn't make any silly mistakes. Not to say that he made any in the other games, but just from a perspective of a pro gamer, he's got to be feeling less stressed than he was in the other 2 games.
It's a little bit like the games of Finale that we've seen yesterday. In the last game that he played, he was just in a position where even if he would have lost the match, it wouldn't have been so important because he already did what he was supposed to do. He took down a couple of players, he played so well against FXO, and I completely agree. We have San now in a similar position. He already defeated 2 of his opponents, now he's up against Marine King. Dual side will be gone, and therefore San in a very relaxed position. Obviously he wants to win, he wants to take the game, but the pressure has been removed, and that can only help him in his confidence to take down his opponent.
Indeed, and he actually was able to scout no gases, but even so has taken a second gas of his own, does not want to take a fast expand against a Terran on this map. I don't think he's going to all in. I think he's going to start a robotics, and he's going to play a very safe, longer game, try to use the robotics tech to scout his opponent, create a composition that makes sense. We may see some of this immortal pressure that's becoming very popular in Korea.
You definitely need the robotics if you're up against a Terran player on dual side. There have been so many games going on where we've seen Banshee play, sometimes with cloak, sometimes without. So you definitely need the observer in order to scout what exactly is up. You mentioned that on the dual side, all those all-ins on 1 or 2 bases are really, really strong for Terrans. So having an observer in your opponent's base to know exactly what's coming and when it's coming, it's so crucial. And
he's verified a scout here, trying to make
he's going for an expansion.
Yeah,
as well.
He verified the scout. He didn't use the second gas. He pulled 2 probes out of it, left just 1 in.
3 barracks now being built, 3 additional ones that will put him up to 4 already.
Very Marine King-esque. No gas, 4 barracks. Yeah. He does this in all sorts of matchups, man.
He's the king of Marines after all.
He absolutely is. So the gas now has been remined for San. He took his probes out of it temporarily, but he's put them all back in now that he's made his Nexus. And I would expect to see him show some tech here pretty soon.
Another 1 single bunker for Marine King on the front, and oh, we have the Twilight Council.
He's probably going to go into DTs very quickly, which can catch a lot of players off guard. And
taking quite a risk, though.
Yeah, it helps you control the map, but exactly, it is really risky.
It will pay off in this case, so...
Wow, he gets to see everything with that Stalker. Lucky Stalker, no shield damage even taken.
And he had the scouting information earlier that his opponent didn't take gas, but we had all these timings, not only on dual side, but also on Daybreak with a little bit of a delayed Banshee with cloak tech. Yeah. We've seen that countless times with dual side, so really going for the Twilight Council instead of the robotics is taking quite a risk, but it might definitely pay off. There's the Dark Shrine, as Wolf already mentioned, and we will see DETs. Let's see how Marine King is going to handle them.
Yeah, this is actually a really common follow-up. Thing is, Marine King, is he going to save scans with this push? That's the question. It looks like he's got 2 scans right now, and he's going to either use them or not in just a moment. It looks like he's smartly saving them. I really like this. He used actually 1 of them, and the second one, will he use it? He's got 1 scan saved right now. Oh, the DTs aren't done yet, but...
No, they need a lot of time until they are out of the game.
He's just going to hit now.
Oh, and there are a lot of Marines. The Marine King is going strong. The force field's trying to cut off the retreat, but most of the probes have been pulled now, and the force field's not perfect. Still, the SCV is alive. It's being killed now, but a lot of drones have been dead already. In total, he killed 4 of them. He's killing more and more probes, more and more Marines. Join the party, and wow, Sun in a lot of trouble. The Dark Shrine is still not done yet.
But he does have a 4th pylon up, and when that shrine finishes, right now Marine King does have 1 scan.
Damage he does.
Yeah, he's
killing
continuing the
more
damage.
probes. 13 probes have been killed already.
Yeah, this Dark Shrine is going to have to do damage, or Marine King is going to have a huge lead. He does have 2 eBays on the way right now, so he will be able to start turrets very soon.
And he has the energy. He has the energy on the command center. Here come the DTs, and he throws down a turret immediately. The DT is taken out. Marine King. Wow.
Looking good so far here.
Looking very good.
He needs to stop this turret. He will be able to stop it. He needs to actually target it though. Some hesitation here by San. He needs to target the turret.
Oh, he needs to complete the turret, and it completes just in time. The DT isn't taken out, but still, that was really close. And San, he didn't do any damage with the DTs whatsoever.
Yeah, he killed like 1 or 2 SCVs max with that DT. Lost the DT in the process. He did keep his 2nd one alive. Double Forge is now coming out for San as he gasses.
Marine King is adding so much tech. +1 attack, +1 armor, going for Stim, adding Marauders. He's going for the starport, and he is adding more and more gas, reactor, everything. He can just use everything that he wants. He has about the same harvester count as his opponent, and that is always a good thing in a PvT, because usually as a Terran player you're a little bit behind because of the time that you need in order to get the orbital commands. You still have the mules in order to make up for the difference, but in this particular scenario we have them on even work accounts, and therefore Marine King, with the help of the mules, is far ahead in his income.
Yeah, I would say so. I really feel like Marine King has taken a huge lead just because not only of the probes, but also how much he was able to hold against the probes. Now this Stark Templar is trying to sneak around here. It's all it's going to take is 1 scan, and well, there it is. Charge is on the way with the +1 upgrades for San. Rather than Blink, I really like that because he knows his opponent's tech for his dropships is a little bit later, so he can get that charge out. He knows he's going to be dealing with an aggressive ground-based attack rather than drop play first. 3 gateways being added now for San as well. It's almost impossible for a Protoss to take a 3rd base on this map, so San is going to be pretty hard-pressed to do so. He's going to have to get a stronger army before he can even think about doing that.
Now we have Marine King. Oh, a little bit of a mismicro with the Stalker there. He should have realized earlier that his opponent is actually moving out and retreated with a Stalker, but he did not.
This is really interesting what he's doing here. I cannot even imagine why he's trying to engage this. He's like, yes, please concave me. Okay, now he's turning around. His charge almost done, but still not quite. You may try to delay with force fields, but it looks like no. There's too wide of a choke point. This is the problem with dual sight for Protoss is force fields going down. Not the best, though.
No, definitely not the best force fields. A lot of damage being dealt by Marine King now trying to stutter step back. This force field has been a lot better, but way too late. GG. Marine King, he brings Prime back into this team battle. We have the 2-1 score now. And Marine King takes down San and is awaiting now his next opponent. No dance for San.
San does not get to do his dance, as you said. And I really feel Marine King just played safe and strong and patient in that game. Just as you would expect from the King of Marines. And I think part of what's awesome about what Marine King has done here is he took dual sight, and then he just played like it wasn't dual sight. And at that final attack is of course really hard to hold. That's one of the biggest problems with dual sight pros. There's 2 entrances and they're very wide open, so it's hard to force field. But Marine King, before that, he didn't do a factory build. He did a fast expansion build with marine pressure. It's like the last thing that most people would expect to see. So really tricky by Marine King, and dual sight's now gone. But San is also gone, and I really am curious to see who they're going to pull out against Marine King. I would actually like to see a Terran player. I would like to see perhaps Sculp or one of our newer Terrans from Minnesota, because Marine King's Achilles heel seems to be his TVT. It seems to be the matchup that he stutters the most in, that he freaks out in sometimes.
Sting would be a pretty good choice then.
Yeah.
if you actually want to go for a Terran player. So, yeah, let's see who's going to be the next player. And Marine King, obviously, he's the one player that you definitely have to defeat. And if Marine King falls within the next 1 or 2 games, then it's still going to be pretty tough for Prime. And here we have the bench of NS Socio. Let's see who's it going to be. It's going to be the next player for them.
Tassadar was looking stressed. And it's going to be really Jokji?
Wow.
Jokji out pretty early, but I like the choice.
I'm certainly not one to complain about it.
I actually think I would have chosen Jokji as well here, but it's still surprising that this was the actual choice. It's like, okay, Jokji can actually beat Marine King really easily, I think. And also he's a solid player after this, but do you want to use him that early? It seems crazy to use him this early, but he's being used here. You can see his win rate in the Team League much better than Marine King's, 4-2. He actually was able to earn an all-kill last season. In fact, in NS Hoso last season, there was one player from each race that was able to get an all-kill, and that was Jokji, Seal, and Sage. Each one got an all-kill against 3 different teams.
Quite impressive.
And you can see, like, average wins 1.0, man. That's pretty decent.
That's going to be a really, really nice Terran versus Terran Jokji against Marine King on Cloud Kingdom, which is going to be the next map.
This should be an epic TVT.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be a longer game for sure. Can Marine King out-multitask Jokji? We're going to find out after a 5-minute break, so go get a soda, go get some popcorn, go tell your friends to tune in. We'll be back just after this.